Good morning. On this Easter Tuesday, this is Plano Informativo's local, Mexico, and world news in English. In San Luis Potosí, the state governor confirms that there are 3 active forest fires relatively close to urban areas. In San Luis Potosí, the state governor confirms that there are 3 active forest fires relatively close to urban areas. Winds, difficult terrain, and extended distances have made putting out the 3 largest forest fires in San Luis Potosí an extremely hard situation. These fires are raging in the municipalities of Ciudad Valles, Rio Verde, and San Luis Potosí and have damaged or destroyed some homes. Governor Carreras pointed out that since last week, efforts have been made to extinguish these fires, with help from the Department of Defense and the Federal Electricity Commission by loaning their specialized helicopters, but several climatological situations have not let firefighters put these fires out, although together with volunteers, they expect to conclude this week. In Mexico information, first quarter sets new homicide record. Numbers are up 10% over last year. President López Obrador has predicted a reduction in 6 months due to implementation of new programs and the National Guard, but Mexico has recorded its most violent first quarter in recent history. There were 7,242 homicide cases reported between January and March, an increase of almost 10% compared to the same period last year. The National Public Security System said there were 8,493 victims, up 9.6% over last year. The figures for the first 3 months of the year represent increases of 13%, 15%, and 1.9% respectively compared to January, February, and March of 2018. And if you are an American football fan, you might know the Chargers and Chiefs will play in Mexico City on November 18. That's a great piece of news for people who like the sport. Last year, the NFL game programmed for the Azteca Stadium was canceled due to the bad conditions of the playing field of the famous soccer venue. The date is now official, and the AFC West Division rivals will meet in a Monday Night Football match. The game is set for 7:15 p.m. local time on November 18 and will air on ESPN. Mexico is probably the country with the most active American football players after the U.S., with teams ranging from 6-year-olds to leagues featuring players over 40. In world news, after the Easter weekend attacks in Sri Lanka, the government imposed an emergency and has said that an international network is involved in these attacks. This emergency law, which gives police and military extensive powers to detain and interrogate suspects without court orders, would go into effect at midnight local time, the president's office said, and a night curfew went into effect at 8 p.m. Hotels and Christian churches were targeted, and police said 87 bomb detonators were found at the city's main bus station, while an explosive went off near a church when bomb squad officials were trying to defuse it. Scores were killed in the church on Sunday. There was no claim of responsibility for Sunday's attacks, but suspicion was focusing on Islamist militants in the Buddhist-majority country. That's all for today. I'm David Reza in the News Corner. Have a great Tuesday.